Ever pondered about the relevance of ancient prophecies in our contemporary world? Today we embark on a journey into the book of Zechariah, an intriguing part of the Holy Bible, rich in visions and prophecies. This book, nestled in the Minor Prophets section of the Old Testament, carries a heavy weight of historical context. Zechariah, the author, was not just a scribe, but a prophet in the post-exilic period, a time of reconstruction and reflection for the Jewish people. His writings are an intricate tapestry of visions that transcend time, interweaving past, present and future. Zechariah's prophecies serve as a beacon of hope, a rallying cry for repentance, and a reminder of divine promise. They offer a unique lens to view the world, providing insights that remain relevant even in the 21st century. So, let's embark on this journey together, to unravel the mysteries, to seek understanding. Dive with us into the enigmatic world of Zechariah's prophecies. The first 4 chapters of Zechariah are a whirlwind of visions and prophecies. Zechariah, a prophet in the post-exilic period, is graced with 8 visions in a single night. These visions, each filled with rich symbolism and profound messages, form a tapestry of hope and promise for the people of Israel. In the first vision, Zechariah sees a man riding a red horse, standing among myrtle trees in a ravine. Behind him are red sorrel and white horses. These are the ones the Lord has sent to patrol the earth, offering a reassuring message of God's watchful eye over his people and the world. The second vision of 4 horns and 4 craftsmen speaks of the nations that scattered Israel and Judah. But God promises that these nations will themselves be scattered by the craftsmen, a symbol of God's protective power. The third and fourth visions of a man with a measuring line and the cleansing of the high priest Joshua reveal God's plan for Jerusalem and his promise of a future Messiah. God promises to return to Jerusalem, and Joshua's cleansing represents the removal of sin, hinting at the ultimate cleansing that will come through the Messiah. Next, the vision of the golden lampstand and 2 olive trees is a message of encouragement to Zerubbabel, the governor of Judah. It's a reminder that it's not by might nor by power, but by God's Spirit that challenges will be overcome. The final 3 visions of a flying scroll, a woman in a basket, and 4 chariots serve as warnings against sin and assurance of God's judgment on evil. These chapters of Zechariah are awash with themes of repentance and restoration. They offer a glimpse of God's plan for his people, a plan that extends beyond their current circumstances to a future filled with hope. This hope is rooted in the promise of a Messiah, a promise that threads through Zechariah's visions like a golden strand. In Zechariah's visions, we see a glimmer of hope for a nation in despair. As we move into the middle chapters of Zechariah, the visions become even more symbolic and complex. Chapter 5 presents us with 2 powerful images. The first is of a flying scroll, representing the curse that goes out over the face of the whole land. It symbolizes God's judgment against those who steal and those who swear falsely in his name. This vision underscores the importance of honesty, integrity, and respect for God's commandments. The second vision in chapter 5 is of a woman sitting inside a basket. This woman embodies wickedness, and she is carried away to Babylon, a place associated with sin and rebellion against God. This vision signifies the removal of sin from the land, emphasizing God's commitment to purify his people. As we journey into chapter 6, Zechariah witnesses 4 chariots that emerge from between 2 mountains. These chariots represent the 4 winds of heaven that go forth after standing before the Lord of all the earth. This vision emphasizes God's sovereignty over all nations and his judgment that extends to the ends of the earth. In chapters 7 and 8, the focus shifts from visions to direct messages from God. The people ask whether they should continue to mourn and fast in remembrance of the destruction of Jerusalem. God's response challenges them to examine their motives. He calls for true justice, kindness and mercy, not ritual observance, devoid of sincerity and righteousness. Finally, chapter 8 brings words of promise and hope. God declares his passionate love for Jerusalem and his plans for its restoration. He talks of a time when the city will be a place of safety, prosperity and joy, where old men and women will sit in the streets and children will play around them. These chapters remind us of the consequences of disobedience, yet they also offer a promise of restoration. The underlying theme is clear: God is just and punishes sin, but he is also merciful and eager to restore those who turn back to him. In the final chapters of Zechariah, we find some of the most vivid and controversial prophecies in the Bible. As we dive into chapters 9 through 14, we uncover prophecies about the coming Messiah, a figure of hope and salvation. Zechariah foretells of a humble king riding on a donkey, a stark contrast to the grandeur and might typically associated with royalty. This depiction aligns with the Christian understanding of Jesus Christ's entry into Jerusalem, an event remembered on Palm Sunday. The prophecy not only speaks of a Messiah, but also of a shepherd king, an image that encapsulates the tenderness, care and leadership that the coming figure would embody. Yet these chapters also speak of a shepherd who is struck and the flock scattered, a prophecy that has been linked to the suffering and death of Christ. The images of betrayal and abandonment, of a shepherd struck and a flock scattered, paint a picture of the trials and tribulations the Messiah would endure. In the midst of these prophecies, Zechariah also warns of a final conflict, a great battle that would engulf the nations. This prophecy has sparked numerous theological debates, with interpretations ranging from literal end-time battles to more symbolic spiritual warfare. Zechariah's prophecy of God standing on the Mount of Olives, causing it to split in two, has been interpreted by some as a dramatic representation of divine intervention and victory. The book of Zechariah does not end with doom and gloom. Rather, it concludes with a vision of ultimate triumph and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. It promises a time when every pot in Jerusalem will be holy to the Lord, symbolizing a future where the sacred and the ordinary beautifully coexist. Through these chapters, Zechariah invites us to wrestle with the complexities of prophecy, to engage with the questions they raise, and to find hope in the promise of divine victory. Even amidst the turmoil, Zechariah ends with a note of ultimate triumph. The book of Zechariah, filled with visions and prophecies, is a treasure trove for anyone seeking to understand the complexities of biblical prophecy. This intriguing book, as we've explored, is a profound tapestry woven with themes of repentance, renewal, and ultimate victory. From the first 4 chapters, we dove deep into the prophetic visions that introduced us to the concept of divine judgment and hope. In the middle chapters, the focus shifted to the call for moral and social reform, highlighting the importance of personal and societal repentance. The final chapters painted a vivid picture of the ultimate victory, promising a future of peace and prosperity. This journey through the book of Zechariah has allowed us to witness the transformative power of prophecy, a call to reflection, a guide for moral conduct, and a beacon of hope for a brighter future. As we close the book of Zechariah, we are left with a sense of awe at the depth and richness of these ancient prophecies. Thank you for joining us on this journey.